Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm Global Account Director.
Hi, I'm Marcel. I'm a product manager at compredict.
Usually in webinars like this, we're giving you information about our core product, which is virtual sensors. But this time we are doing something different.
Today, we are going to present you the compredict DataPilot, the new tool that we are currently developing to streamline your data cleaning and labeling workflows.
So you might be new here. So let us give you some information about the company itself. Compredict is an academic spin-off from the Technical University in Darmstadt. We are founded 2016, so we are celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. We are currently a team comprising of 50 people, including engineers, data scientists, and domain experts. Right now, we have over 10 virtual sensors in production, and we also secured 2 series production contracts, including one with the Renault Group, where we are serving 10 million vehicles with our virtual sensor for tire and brake wear.
Whoever has worked with time series data in their past knows that it's just the nature of time series data that it has a lot of issues because you might every kind of time series sensor data that you capture, you might find a few outliers, you have offsets, or even entirely missing data for some samples. And this is really important to first find these issues and clean it so they don't affect your later analysis or even virtual sensor calibration that you do.
And also what is extremely important is to get the context behind the data, right, Marcel? So you have to know which data were recorded in which situation so that the plausibility of data analysis is given, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is exactly super relevant for our virtual sensor calibration, but in general, like for every machine learning application that you want to build with your time series sensor data, that you know what is actually hidden inside your data. You have to know, for example, the distribution between uphill and downhill driving. If you have driven on a rough or off-road or like on a city, and basically the maneuvers that are happening inside your data, like harsh braking or cornering and stuff like this.
And since we were not able to find anything that could help us the way we intended to, we decided to come up with our own solution on how we can turn messy data into gold, so to say. And therefore, we are extremely happy to present the DataPilot, which is our new product that is the core and focus of today's session. The DataPilot currently has 3 major objectives. First is to check your data within for its quality. The second is to clean your data. And the third is to label your data. And without any further ado, I would say, Marcel, let's have a demo.
And with the DataPilot, of course, we start at the login screen. So after I've put in here my credentials, I will log into the platform, and this will lead me directly to the uploading screen. So here I can upload any kind of measurement data that I want to process through the DataPilot. And as an example, I brought here one measurement from our internal demo vehicle, the Compredictor, that we already know has a lot of issues and that we want to fix through this kind of DataPilot here.
Marcel, I have 2 questions. First question, I see this is a Parquet file, but from our customer projects, I know that not everybody's working with Parquet files, maybe, yeah? Is there also the support for other formats, so to say?
Yeah, so currently in this version of the DataPilot, we support Parquet and CSV files, but we are actively working to extend this, of course. We just use Parquet and CSV because, to our knowledge, it's the most common file formats, but of course there are also other ones like MATLAB file extensions or like MDF4, BLF, all that kind of stuff that we want to support in the future, definitely.
Okay, cool. And second question, also related to this, I see this file is rather small, I would say. Is there a limitation within the DataPilot, or can I also upload a 4 GB file?
Yeah, so for today, this file is rather small, just for like the demo cases, I would say. And we actually have a limitation, but it's up to 3 GB, which is, I think,
Okay.
already plenty of stuff for kind of this daily workflow that you will have as an engineer. But also we are extending this with actually future release that is coming in the next months to a bigger data set that you can actually upload a full measurement campaign and process it entirely through DataPilot.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks, Daniel, for the questions. Then I would say let's continue with the flow. And in the next step, we would go to the signal mapping. The signal mapping is required for our data quality checks to know what signals you basically uploaded, and thus also to adjust the configurations according to the signal. So for example, if you upload a signal that is called acceleration pedal position here, then we also need to know, okay, this is the acceleration pedal position. And because we know that this is a quite painful step in the process, yeah, and will, of course, again, take some manual work, we created an auto mapping algorithm that is basically taking your signal names and mapping them directly to our DataPilot signal names with AI. So we only need to check and review those mappings and then can just easily continue with your analysis.
But eventually I'm also able to do manual changes all the time, right? So if
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect.
So if you want to kind of map this to a different
Okay, got
signal,
it.
you can just do it. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay. Then I would say after we have reviewed this mapping here, we can confirm it. And this will lend us to what we call the decision screen, where you can decide if you really want to start directly with the data quality checking and fixes, or if you want to skip this step because you already know that your data has a good quality and you just want to go to the labeling.
So basically I can do it step by step, right? I can do the quality check, and maybe after the lunch break, I can come back and continue with the labeling, for example.
Exactly, yeah. And that's, I would say, what we also want to do for the demo today. We will start with the data quality checking. And for this, we will just press here the analyze and fix data quality button. So this will take a short time to process all the data quality issues. And then we will be referred to this data quality dashboard, how we call it, which essentially has two components. It has the data quality check summary at the top, where you can see an overall dataset quality score. So in this case, you can see, okay, this dataset that we uploaded has some issues. Here we have a score of 75. And just a short summary of all the issues that we were able to find in your dataset. So you can see we have some outliers, we have some saturation actually in the signals, and also some signal jumps. And also you see a short summary of the dataset metadata, like the sampling rate, the amount of basically the uploaded dates, etc. So, and then here you can see the signal level reports, which will show you one signal after another with basically the individual data quality score and some statistics and also the rate of missing data.
Okay. So I get an idea on how bad is the situation for this signal. Okay, cool.
And you also see it sorted by the data quality score. So you can basically start with the signals that require the most attention. And you can also filter them by issues. So if you're mainly interested in outliers or, I don't know, signal jumps, then you can just do this. And if you have like analyze your data on like this overall level, I would say you, of course, want to go a bit deeper into the individual signals. And for this case, let's maybe take this break temperature signal here and inspect it in a more detail. So here you will then be referred to the inspect signal view, where you will have a plot of each signal for one specific trip. And you will see highlights on the individual data quality issues that we identified for this specific trip. So you can see here at the start, there is a lot of missing data actually. Then we have some kind of outliers also that are present, and you can also just turn them on and off. So, and you have also the option to add additional signals. So in this demo version, you can, for example, add the brake pressure front to compare those between basically the brake temperature and the brake pressure front.
So this gives me the opportunity to check for plausibility also visually,
Exactly.
right? So,
Exactly. So of course, maybe sometimes not all the issues that we identify with our data quality checks are real issues. Maybe it's just an anomaly, but that kind of makes sense in like the correlation to other signals, and that's something you can check with that definitely. Yeah.
What I also see, Marcel, and I see this here, and I saw it on the previous page, that I have the opportunity to export stuff like a report, a PDF report, or a CSV. So this is something that we are doing in the DataPilot from basically at nearly every screen, right? So that you, as the user, can actually take something with you to take it to your colleagues from measurement department whatsoever to see, hey, guys, we have something, we inspected an issue here. Do you have an explanation for it whatsoever? Yeah, but can you elaborate on this for a second as well?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have plenty of exporting functionality within the DataPilot, not only here on this screen where you can export basically the different plots here, but also on the main dashboard where you can export like just a summary of all the issues that we found. And later, of course, you can export the clean data, you can export the labeled version. So it's really meant to give you a lot of flexibility and also to communicate with your team on these kind of issues that you were able to find. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that's great.
Great. Okay. So after we now have inspected the signal in more detail, what we for sure want to do, because we see it has a lot of issues, we want to clean it somehow. So next step we will add the signal to the cleaning scope, which is kind of a shopping cart system for data cleaning that we built here in this DataPilot. And if we go back or click add more signals, then we can, for example, also add some, maybe just let's add all of the signals here.
Of course.
To the cleaning scope, because we want to fix all of them that had issues. So, and then we can click actually configure fixes. That will open a drawer here on the side
Perfect.
where you can configure the individual fix methods for the issues that you were able to find in your signals. Like, for example, for brake temp, you remember we were finding some outliers. And here the recommended fix method is linear interpolation, but
Makes
of
sense.
course you can choose anything you like. So in the current MVP version, we support 5 different fixing methods for the issues that we were able to find. But here again, we are actively working to extend this also with then user feedback from our beta users. So to basically have a bigger variety of possible fixing methods. And after we have basically configured our fixes here, we of course want to apply them. Then we click apply fixes. And here we can then create a clean data set. Again, you see we have again an exporting functionality here at basically any step. Yeah. So we will create a clean data set in the next step. And then hopefully we were able to fix all issues like you see here. So we have now a data quality score of 100, and we have resolved actually plenty of issues. So we can now basically use this data set that we have created for any kind of further analysis or also a virtual sensor calibration. So let's continue to the data labeling. Here we need to press this button, and then again it will need some time to process all the labels, and then it will refer us again to the events and labeling dashboard, where we will see again 2 parts of the dashboard. At the first, this kind of summary again, where here we can now see the dataset coverage. So that means at which % of the data we were able to create labels for. And then we see basically the driving context and the top maneuvers. That's basically the logic we have built the labeling around. So every time you have basically a context for the measurement that you have taken, like for example, what type of surface, what road type, the road grade, and also road roughness and curvature. And you, of course, are interested in some of the maneuvers. Like in this case, we were able to identify some hard braking maneuvers, some ABS activation also, hard acceleration in some cases, and sharp cornering and overspeeding. And again, we have some metadata. So here we don't have the signal level reports. Now we have the trip level reports, because in this case, we are interested in the trip itself. And you see we have a few trips here where we may want to inspect the first one in more detail. We see already, okay, this trip has some hard braking and hard acceleration. We were driving mostly in the city, it seems like, and also in dry conditions. And we have no really special insights that we have any rare maneuvers inside. And the duration is roughly 11 minutes. So here we can then click on inspect to basically get to this inspect trip view, where we can again see the vehicle speed now, the vehicle speed signal, and highlight it with some parts that are the maneuvers that we were identifying in this trip. Like for example, in this case, we have identified the hard acceleration here and the hard braking here. And we have some contextual information about the trip. Like in this case, you see we were mostly driving in city scenarios, but at the end we were also driving for some minutes in the off-road. And we have also the option to toggle these on and off. So you see, okay, it's mostly flat. We have mostly smooth roads. And this will already give us a very good picture of the trip itself, and basically what data we are using for maybe virtual sensor calibration or any kind of model that you want to do with the data. And also we have again a lot of exporting functionalities here. Here you can export the trip labels itself for only this specific trip, or at the main dashboard you can export the whole labeled dataset.
Okay, thank you, Marcel, for this very detailed demo. I think it was super interesting. And now to our audience, what to take away from this session. We did not identify this problem. This problem exists for quite some time. And I think everybody who's dealing with time series data knows that the stuff we showed today is a day-by-day or can be a day-by-day situation. And what we see is that the DataPilot is doing two things perfectly right. First, it actually makes your problems visible, because sometimes you don't even get an idea on how problematic is my data situation at times, and especially in time critical situations like measurement campaigns where deadlines are standing behind you all the time. And this can be a very critical situation. And also what the DataPilot is doing, that it's not only making problems visible, but it's getting rid of them in no time. So think about the time within your work that you actually can use for your core, for the things you actually want to do with the data, and not being the data janitor, like you always like to call it, right, Marcel?
Yes, sure. Yeah. And also nowadays we do a lot of onboarding and demos for the DataPilot, and it's really nice because we get so much great feedback on the DataPilot, and that really shows us, okay, that we are working on a really big issue here and try to solve this issue basically. And also not only from automotive, because essentially the DataPilot is meant to be a tool to clean and label data from all kind of time series sensor data. Yeah, no matter if it's the automotive industry or also manufacturing or robotics industry, it doesn't matter. Yeah, essentially any kind of sensor data that you have, we want to be able to clean and label it. And that's what we're also actively working on currently, to extend, for example, the labeling feature also to other industries. And it's just really nice to see that it's just a widely recognized problem that we really try to solve here, and are really ambitious about it. So you're really welcome to scan this QR code that you see here and just sign up for free early access. Then I will, or Daniel will message you, and we'll do onboarding to the platform to basically you can try it with your own data basically.
And with this, we would like to thank you and wish you a nice day.
Thanks.